I made a deck that contains only commons. These are the cheapest of the cheapest magic cards. Most people have boxes full of them. And I will try to beat a deck that contains only uncommons. There are only one of these for every 3 commons in Magic. They tend to be more powerful, but not as powerful as rares. Because we will then try to beat a deck that only contains rares. There are only one of these for every 10 commons. And stay till the end, because then we'll try to beat a deck that contains only Mythics, the hardest type of Magic card to find. And I don't even know if that's going to be amazing or terrible, if I'm honest with you. But first, Jamin, are you ready to lose to a pile of commons with your uncommon army?
No, I won't lose.
All right, even if you have the rarer cards, you won the die roll, so you get the first play. Show me your uncommons.
I'll play a tap line. Pass the turn.
Only at rare do they come in untapped.
Yes.
I'm also going to play a tap land, but this one's an artifact.
Well, you have access to basic lands, so you could have played an untapped one.
You have underestimated the deck I'm playing.
I will play an Ancient Tomb. Now,
That's an uncommon, it's true.
of course, check your uncommons, Carl.
For context for people at home, I see you writing in the comments, that's black. So usually it would be a common. But back in the day, there was no way to tell apart whether it was an uncommon, a common, or a rare, or a mythic. So you just had to take their word for it.
Anyways, Ancient Tomb, really powerful land because it taps for 2 colorless mana at once. It also deals 2 damage to you when you do that.
I'm winning.
And I will cast a Devoted Druid. Devoted Druid is a 0/2 elf that taps for green mana, but I can put a -1/-1 counter on it to untap it to generate even more mana.
So it's not only good for 1 turn making 2 extra mana, but also this card is famously entwined in many combos.
Go ahead.
I'll untap. Drop. So I don't know what counter spells are common legal, but you have blue, and I'm not going to let you untap with this Devoted Druid. So I'm going to deal it 2 damage. It could be 4 if I had more artifacts, but it's currently 2.
I wish I could just let that happen, but I kind of need my druid.
I figured.
I'll introduce you to one of the most famous counterspells of all time.
That's also an
I'll
uncommon!
cast Force of Will, exiling a Stern Mentor.
This is a very expensive uncommon.
Force of Will is a 5 mana counterspell. Not very good, but you may pay 1 life and exile a blue card from your hand from the game instead of paying its mana cost. So Stern Mentor is an exiled blue card. I paid 1 life and it reads counter target spell.
So I see that you need this Devoted Druid. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about it except for play a tap land because I'm playing commons. I'll pass the turn and hope I'm not dead.
Let's see about that. I will draw. I think you're safe for now. Maybe. I'll pay 3, taking 2 damage again, to cast a Quill Spike.
Oh, that sounds like the other part of a combo because I've never seen that card before.
Yeah, just the way I pronounced it. It
It wasn't to play a Quill Spike. It was to play a Quill Spike.
It's a 3 mana 1/1. That's not very impressive. But for a green or a black mana and removing a -1/-1 counter from a creature that I control, I can grant Quill Spike +3/+3 until end of turn. So it's basically a giant growth.
By removing a -1/-1 counter.
So let me introduce you to a fun little trick I can do.
Okay.
I can tap this Devoted Druid for a green mana. Poof. And now I can activate its second ability, granting it -1/-1 and untapping it.
-1/-1 counter is relevant here.
Yep. Now, I have that green mana still. So I'll use that green mana to grant my Quill Spike +3/+3 by removing this -1/-1 counter.
So it's a 4/4.
Yeah, it's a 4/4 now. I'll repeat this a bunch.
So it's 17 million.
Yep. It's 70 million. Unfortunately, I always have to spend my green mana.
So you don't have infinite mana.
I don't have more mana.
But you have infinite Quill Spike power.
That's a pretty good, right? Unfortunately.
So you're telling me next turn I'm dead.
Yes. Yeah, there's a thing in Magic called Summoning Sickness where you can't attack the turn you play a creature.
And it's saving my life right now.
Yeah. I'll also introduce you to the power of uncommon lands. I'll cast Trevis Ruins. Trevis Ruins is a lair, and when it enters the battlefield, I have to sacrifice it, unless I return a non-lair land I control to its owner's hand. It taps for 1 mana. I'll return my Ancient Tomb.
So it's a much worse version of the land you played earlier.
Yes. Don't forget, this Quill Spike has 1,000 power, and I'll pass the turn to you.
It has 1 power now.
Damn.
So you're telling me that I need a way out of this really quickly. I'm gonna play a land. So one thing that I haven't been mentioning yet is that all my lands are artifacts. And them being artifacts, they allow me to abuse the affinity for artifacts mechanic. This refurbished familiar now usually costs 4, but at this current moment it costs 1 because it is reduced by 1 mana for every artifact I control, which is currently 3. And now I get for 1 mana a 2/1 flyer that when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. If you couldn't, I would draw a card.
I will discard a card.
Oh, that's a super powerful land you played earlier.
Yeah.
You could punish me by untapping and playing both of those again. Oh, you can't. You don't have the mana, so I'll do this now. I'll play a Crack Clan Shaman. It's a 1 mana 1/1. This one is very powerful in Pauper, which is the format where you get to play commons right now. It allows you to sacrifice an artifact, and then it deals 1 damage to every creature that doesn't have flying.
You are aware that this is almost infinitely large.
I am.
Okay.
Luckily, thanks to the genius Pauper community who've built this deck, I have
I
a
hate that
toxic
card.
analysis. I'll give Death Touch and Lifelink to a creature of my choice until end of turn, and I'll also investigate, which means I will go and find a clue, which happens to be an artifact. Now I'll do that to my Cart Clan Shaman, meaning that whenever it deals damage to something, it will destroy them through Death Touch, and I will gain 1 life. I will sacrifice this clue.
Quillspike, you've been great. A solid friend, a good listener. I'll pump my Quillspike to like 1,000,000.
It's a beautiful moment. It's a sad moment. I will gain 3 life.
Yes, you will.
Notably, my refurbished familiar has flying, so it remains unaffected, and I will pass the turn to you.
I will untap and I will draw my card.
I was worried I wouldn't survive this turn.
I'll replay my Ancient Tomb and cast another Quillspike.
Another one. Uh-oh. If you follow this up with another Devoted Druid, this probably has to stay on blocking duty.
Ah, well, we'll see about that. Go ahead.
I'll untap. I'll draw. First, I need to start finding answers. So I will spend 1 blue and abuse the affinity for artifact mechanic once again. Playing this Thoughtcast, which will allow me to draw 2 cards. It usually costs 5, but it costs 1 because I have 4 artifacts. Draw. Ah!
You didn't need to make a show out of it. Come on.
I'm just so excited about drawing cards.
You're drawing cards.
Woo! I get to play a land, which is also an artifact. How many artifacts do I have now? 5, I believe. So I will pay 1 and play Neil's Spellbomb. I can tap it, sacrifice, exile all graveyards, and pay 1 black to draw a card. I don't think your graveyards matter, but it's free because it's an artifact. Currently I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artifacts. So I'll tap 2, and I will play this Acre Wellspring, which doesn't do much. It's potato-shaped, but it allows me to draw a card. And now, shall we count together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. Have you heard of the Affinity for Artifacts mechanic?
Yeah, what a fun one.
I'll play twice this Mere Enforcer, which is a 4/4. That's it. But it costs 1 less for every artifact, which we've already counted to be 7.
They're just good friends.
They're great. Look, they're twins.
They're hanging out, holding hands.
I'll hit you with a flying zombie rat.
All right.
And I think for now, I'm in a safe position. I have blockers.
Well, we'll see about that. I will untap. Draw.
Commons.
I'll cast a Tangled Florohedron, which is a 2 mana 1/1 that taps 4 mana. And I'll have to pass the turn.
Ooh. I will play a Crack Clan Shaman. I will sacrifice this potato that has more text, because when it dies, I also draw a card to deal 1 damage to every creature that doesn't have flying.
It still has Death Touch, right? So the Mere Enforcers?
That's a new one.
I can't even remove -1/-1 counters.
No, because you don't have any in play. And now that all these friends are here, I will attack you for 10. And very conveniently, thanks to all my card draw, I will deal you 4 damage with this Galvanic Blast.
I would love...
You high-five me on my win?
That's a good win!
Support your friends.
Who can argue with Mere Enforcers? They're great friends.
Rares, I'm coming for you.
Hello.
So you arrive with a deck only made of mythics. You look like a pirate.
Before we start, I play the rares, and I brought a little friend. You might not see him yet.
have a companion?
Are you shy? Wait, I found it. Hello! It's Lurs!
Oh, the most beloved of all the companions. This is going to be an easy fight. I stand in front of you, a peasant, and I think the peasant can keep this hand.
Okay, I accept it.
You probably have this slew of untapped lands that have extra abilities.
I do. I actually do.
But I have a black-red tap land.
Ah, it is indestructible.
It is.
Which might be a blessing without even realizing it.
Oh, do you just have a bunch of wastelands?
And strip mines, for that matter.
Strip mines! That's not a card you see every day.
Well, you convinced me I'll play a Mox Diamond. So that means it's a 0 mana artifact. It makes mana, but for the cost of discarding a land. I don't need this wasteland because, well, your land is indestructible.
Oh.
So it goes to my graveyard. So now,
Good thing I played my single 1 indestructible land early.
it makes any color of mana. I will show you to the rare lands of Magic.
Oh, those are the best lands.
And I don't see black and blue mana for no cost, just taps, and I'll tap for 2. and play the frog.
Ooh, that's a powerful spell.
Yeah, if any card dominated 2024, it is this card. 2 mana, 1/2. Doesn't sound exciting, but wait for it. Whenever it deals combat damage to you or one of your planeswalker, I draw a card. If I discard a card, it gets a +1/+1 counter. And if I exile 3 cards from the graveyard, it gets flying. It's a callback to Psychotalk, which is very old.
It also has eyes that make you lose your soul.
I'm already charmed.
I'm already charmed. I'll play a land that you can destruct.
This is the plot twist. You don't play Psychic Frog. Psychic Frog plays you.
So I'm in a funny spot because I need to get rid of that frog or I'll lose the game.
Don't get rid of the frog. The frog is nice.
I know that Jamin was playing Force of Will because it was uncommon. And Counterspell is a common, so the rare is Force of Negation. So if I play a spell during my turn, it might not resolve. I'll pass.
Very observant.
Before you draw your card, I will attempt to destroy the frog. Is it a legend? It should be. But cast down says destroy target non-legendary creature.
Can we have a moment of silence for my dying frog?
Thoralf,
Carl.
we've crossed the barriers of our social classes to unite in mourning our friend.
I don't know. I feel like I just didn't have enough time to appreciate him.
Goodbye, frog.
What the frog, man? Not cool. Not cool. Okay, I draw a card. You mess with my board, I mess with yours. I play a Thoughtseize, meaning I look at your hand and I'll discard
That's
one.
not my board, that's my hand. I have 2 potatoes, a blood fountain, and a card that gets rid of your graveyard.
Is it not enough that he died? Does he have
I also have to exile him as well. He's not coming back.
No, I don't like it. Remove the spell bomb. I might want to play the frog again. Maybe he's not dead after all. Who knows?
You're not playing that card. Anyways, it wouldn't be good. It's a common.
I know I discarded a Wasteland, but I also have a Strip Mine, which is also rare.
It is.
Wasteland destroyed a non-basic land. Strip Mine destroys any land. Now, I've noticed you've played a land that is not indestructible.
I have.
Let's get rid of that.
Okay, we both lost the land.
And then we tap the Mox style.
You have more stuff?
I'm the rare guy. Rares are basically the best cards in Magic. I will tap my rare for
Because
green
you're the rare guy.
and play a Noble Highland, which makes blue or white or green, and then my attacking creatures get better.
Because it has Exalted. Only if they attack alone. Unfortunately, you got rid of my Neil Spellbomb, so I'll play a tap land that's indestructible and a Blood Fountain. I wish it was a Chocolate Fountain. Unfortunately, instead of a chocolate token, I get a blood token. If I pay 4, I sacrifice it and return up to 2 target creature cards from my graveyard to my hand. I'll pass.
Not bad. I will play yet another broken rare land with Undercity Sewers, which is blue and black, but also surveils 1 when it comes to play. That means I get to look at the card, say, I don't want it, it's a land. So basically draw a card. It's not indestructible, I give you that.
Unfortunately, there's no common lands that destroy other lands.
What a shame.
Pauper would be so fun.
I will tap 1, 2, 3 to return lures to my hand. As promised, maybe the frog is coming back.
Hopefully not. I'll draw.
Go.
I will play a land that's also an artifact. It's also destructible, in case you are so inclined.
Thank you for noticing.
I'll pay 2 and play an Ichor Wellspring. I played this against Jamin. Against him, it was mostly just a potato that drew me 2 cards. Actually, that's awesome. Imagine if your potato drew you 2 cards. In this case, it's going to draw me a card, and it's an artifact. I will pay 1 mana, and for 1 single mana, I'm going to play a 4/4 because of the Affinity for Artifacts mechanic, which discounts it for 1 for every artifact I control. And I'll pass it into you.
Pretty strong.
Laris is not a 4/4.
My turn.
Yes, tough guy, show me what you got.
I mean, I basically displayed it to you. I play a Bayou, yet another cool rare land for 3 mana. We'll play Loris. Now, you've seen him as my doggy companion, but what he actually does...
I think it's a cat. It says cat.
It's a cat.
Your whole mind is shattered. Most dogs don't have 6 eyes.
So what we can conclude, it's definitely a nightmare
Yes.
for you, because I've played it. It's a companion. So, I can only play it if all my deck permanents cost 2 or less mana, which is true.
So far, it checks out.
Now it's a 3/2 lifelink, but the actual upside, why this card is so bonkers, is now during my turns, once a turn, I can play a permanent spell from my graveyard that costs 2 or less. Now, we've remembered, we all cherished him. It was a long thing that we mourned.
I wouldn't say we all cherished it.
We all cherished him. I will play him again.
We cherished the frog.
Very good, you're learning. Plaguing Frog.
I did so much work to get rid of it.
Yeah. And now, he's never going to go back.
Is it my turn?
Do something about it.
I'll try my very best. Woo! I will try to dig for another removal spell with this Thoughtcast. Draws 2 cards.
So you're thinking for other removal spells.
I thought that I may cast not a removal spell. Even if I remove your frog, you played again with the Luris.
That's how Lurrus works.
Oh, I know, it's annoying. So I'm gonna have to get rid of the Lurrus first.
It's a cat nightmare. What do you expect?
Yeah, you make a good point, Thoralf.
Clearly a cat. Nobody ever thought it was a dog.
In that case, I'll play a land and tap it to play another potato. That's gonna draw me a card. Ooh, we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. I will immediately destroy your Lurrus by dealing 4 damage to it. Galvanic Blast deals 2, but 4 if I control 3 or more artifacts. Do you want to count?
I mean, 2 would have been enough, but
4 is
rude.
So that's step 1
Yes.
in my frog removal program. And then the race has started. I'm already at a head lead. Would you like to block with the frog?
Let me do quick maths. 1, 2, 3. Is 3 less than 4?
Yes.
I'll take it.
And I'll pass a turn.
How do the Pauper cards just have so much value?
I don't know, right? You think a 2-mana potato that draws a card is okay, but here it's excelente.
I would tap 2 blue to cast a dig through time. It normally costs 8.
Yes.
So this is actually digging for cards. But I can reduce it to the amount of cards I exile from my graveyard. Now I have 5 mana, that means it costs 3, so we'll tap 3.
Yes.
So now I look at the top 7 cards of my library and choose 2. And those 2 I get. So I would choose those 2. Don't look at it.
You don't need to show me.
No.
You can. You can choose to.
I'm not sure. I choose those 2. They go to my bottom. This goes to the graveyard.
I show cards to people all the time. It's usually because I drop them.
And then, I mean, my frog is hungry. It wants to lick you.
Yeah, it's got a big tongue. Does that deal 1 damage?
No, it's 1 from the power, 1 from Exalted, because if a creature attacks alone, gets +1/+1. And discard a Cavern of Souls, because I don't need it anymore for a counter, so that is 1 + 1 + 1 is 3 damage. Because you took damage, I will draw a card.
Yes.
The Frog Engine. And that is my turn.
Okay, you're keeping up 2 mana just like that.
Yeah.
I'll attack for 4.
I will accept the 4 damage.
I would say I'm still winning the race.
You are.
I will play a Kenku Artificer. It has 1 power and 1 toughness. It also has a Homunculus Servant. When it enters the battlefield, I put 3 +1/+1 counters onto 1 target non-creature artifact. It becomes a 0/0 Homunculus with flying. I would like to do this to the Strathford Bridge.
Oh. So now it's a 3/3 indestructible flyer.
flying.
And this also stays even if the Artificer
Even if
goes.
the Artificer goes.
That's crazy.
So that blocks your frog forever. I'm going to play another tap land, and I'll pass a turn. Comments. Do you hear the people chanting comments?
I'm not sure I can beat indestructible
No, I
flyers.
think my puny little commons that are on average 5-10 cents each might be able to sneak this win. Do we swap hats if I win? Oh, can I wear both?
Yes, you can wear both. At least the frog is a good blocker, so I have to pass.
Ah, have I got you in a chokehold, Mr. Moneybags? So let's make sure that frog is not a good blocker. I will pay 2 and play a Makeshift Munitions. Now this is a very good card in this deck because it's a 2-mana enchantment, and if I
Sacrifice an
you
artifact.
tap it,
No. Wait, is that it?
it's a mythprint.
That's not how the card works. You
No,
pay
it's 1 mana. Fun fact: the German version I just saw of Makeshift Munitions, instead of the 1 mana to sacrifice an artifact, it has tap. So it's terrible.
It's better and worse, but mostly worse.
Usually this card reads, pay 1 mana, sacrifice an artifact or a creature, and it deals 1 damage to any creature or player of my choice. I think I will start to want to draw cards, so I'm gonna pay 1 and sacrifice this potato to deal 1 damage here. When the potato dies, the Acre Wellspring. Honestly, don't look at this and not tell me it's a rotten potato.
Always eat your proteins.
I will draw a card.
1 second. Before you do all of this, I would like to tap the black and the green to cast an Assassin's Trophy on your, well, slightly accurate Makeshift Munition. Destroy target permanent and opponent controls. A controller may search the library for a basic land card. No, do you have any?
No, I don't have any basics at all.
on the battlefield. So, this one wants to happen.
With that on the stack, I need a way to sacrifice the other potato. So I will deal 1 damage. This is already getting 1, so I would deal 1 damage to you by sacrificing the other potato. May I draw a card?
No, you may not. So now, we have 2 draws of you happening in the future, right?
Oh no, the rares are so good!
I will cast an Orcish Bowmaster.
Okay, so we have a funny stack.
Yes.
First of all, at the top, we have an Orcish Bowmaster, followed by me drawing a card off my potato, followed by 1 damage to you from the Makeshift Munitions, followed by the Makeshift Munitions dying, followed by me drawing a card off a potato, followed by Noble Hierarch receiving a damage.
This is correct.
This is a winding road.
Before any of those happens, the Orcish army comes into play.
You make a 1/1 Orc army.
Yes. And I will deal 1 damage to the Kenru Artificer.
Kenku Artificer dies. Now, step 2 of our story, I draw a card.
Yes. That means Orcish Bowmaster wants to do something again.
It triggers again because I drew a card.
I will add an Orcish army.
Yes, you deal 1 damage.
And since I won't be able to kill the Mirror Enforcer, I will deal 1 damage to you.
Yes. Now you receive 1 damage because of my makeshift munition.
Ow.
Now my makeshift munition dies because of the Assassin's Trophy.
Yes.
It's destroyed. I search my library for a basic land.
How did that go?
I will tell you in a second. Terribly.
I'm so sorry to hear.
It's okay, I get to draw a card.
Yes.
Yes.
Draw
And
a
then
card.
you deal 1 more damage to me.
I'll get another army.
And now, on the last step of this 7-step program, I'm going to deal 1 damage to Noble Hero.
It dies.
Now that we've done all that, how many cards do you have in hand?
3.
I can't even attack. I'll play a land and pass a turn.
That was a favorable outcome.
Rares are pretty good, I've heard. It's okay. We've got this in the bag. We have more tricks up our sleeve.
Do you, huh? Is it a trick?
Yeah.
Do you need more stuff for your sleeves? Because I can help you out here.
I only have 2 sleeves.
I will tap all 4 of those lands and discard a card. It's an
No.
So this is a land I could play as a land and it makes a blue, but it has a different ability. If I channel it, meaning I discard it, I can use its ability. And it returns target artifact, creature, or enchantment, or planeswalker to its owner's hand. It costs less for each legendary I have. I have none, so it's the complete 4, but I will bounce this artifact.
You had a trick up your sleeve. Okay, the artifact goes back to my hand. It doesn't deserve a sleeve position.
Now that I've noticed that you have no indestructible creatures left,
I do not.
I would like to attack you with my Froggity Frog.
I am not going to block.
You don't gonna block the frog, while you take the damage.
That was beautiful. Do I take 2?
No. I will discard Elavinia, which gets you to 2.
It becomes a 3/4.
And I will discard his frog.
Oh, it didn't want the friend.
No, his frog
It's a
friend.
lone frog.
They're together in spiritual history.
It ate its friend. I'll take 4.
I wouldn't frame it that way, but maybe. I draw a card. And that's it. Your turn.
I'll untap.
Don't forget your sleeve card.
I told you I have a trick up my sleeve.
I see.
Crack Clan Shaman. Play this against Yaman. It was very good. I can sacrifice an artifact and deal 1 damage to every creature without flying.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's not as good as I thought it would be. I'm going to sacrifice this blood to discard a card and draw a card. See if I get something good. I did. I'm going to play a tap land and sacrifice 3 artifacts to deal 3 damage to every creature without flying.
It's not enough, but maybe you have another burn spell, so I'm gonna remove 3 cards to give it flying.
I'm playing around Galvanic Blast. Yes, unfortunately, everything receives 3 damage, and I will attack you for, well, I'm not blocking your frog, so I'll attack you for 4. And I will pass the turn.
Okay. 5 life, not too much. 11, unfortunately.
You've realized I had 1 Galvanic Blast in hand. Just need another.
Do you have a Vagrant Ghost in hand? That would be quite awkward. I would choose to attack.
Do you want to take that risk?
I would discard a Polluted Delta to my frog, so I give it a counter. So now it's a 5/6, and then we're gonna attack.
No effects.
You take 5.
Oh, okay. Man with a plan. You draw a card.
Let it be good.
It's a rare. It has to be good. No, I was joking.
Froggity
not another frog.
Hello. And then for a blue and a white, I will cast a Lavinia as well. Lavinia says each opponent can cast non-creature spells with converted mana cost greater than the number of lands that player controls. So you remember the thought cast.
My affinity, my mirror right here.
Non-creature spells.
Oh,
So you remember the thought cast for 5 mana?
I just need 2 more lines.
Can't play that. Also, if you ever cast a spell, if you spend no mana on it, like your Frogmate for 0, that would also be countered. And as a final act, I will play a Wasteland. Now, I have noticed, again, we've left 1 of your lands. Oh, very good. Yes, it's... Wait, is it this thing where I have to find
wait.
the...
Oh no!
This one.
I don't have enough hands.
And I have played all my cards. As we say, I'm hellbent. It's your turn.
I'm...
Very happy about that card.
I'll attack you for 4.
I will block. Now, my frog isn't probably of big much use without cards, so my froggy is gonna bite the dusty.
I'll deal you 4 damage.
I go to 1.
You go to uno! I'll play a land and pass.
I have to say, it's not my fault. It's Deep Psychic Overlord. I have to attack.
I die. Well done.
Rares. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Behold, you lowly peasant, King Cool. has arrived.
So you're what they call the end boss of a game. I will take the challenge.
Are you ready?
I still have Allures. What do you have? Where are your mythic companions?
I don't need companions. This king works alone. Are you ready for a beatdown of mythic proportions?
Okay, well, it's gonna be an uphill battle, but we're starting with a Bayou that makes black and green and a noble hierarch.
Ramping already, eh?
Last time I heard, there ain't no mythic creatures that make mana, or are they?
As far as I'm concerned, I don't need lowly creatures to make myself some mana.
Go.
Go. First of all, who needs lands anyways? I will play a mana crypt that I can tap for 2 mana, so it's a free Soul Ring. Wanna kiss the ring?
That's mythic, yeah.
In my upkeep, I may flip a coin and lose 3 life, but I don't care. I will beat you before that ever happens.
It's pretty good.
I will tap for 2 and play a mana vault.
Okay.
As you can see, this king doesn't rely on his lands. So I can tap the mana vault for 3 colorless mana of my choice, but it doesn't untap. And at the end of my upkeep, it will deal a damage to me if it's tapped.
And then you can untap it for 4 mana.
I can do that, that's right.
So you're borrowing mana.
I don't borrow, I just take. So I still have 1 mana floating, right? I will play Jugend's Labyrinth that will tap for 1 colorless mana, but I can imprint a card with mana value 7 or more to gain 2 mana, and I will do exactly that and give it Kozilek, the Butcher of Truth. It doesn't matter what it does now, it will be coming back later. And now I can tap it for 2 mana, or I can tap it and return the exiled card to my hand whenever I need it.
I'm starting to think this is bad.
It is bad for you. So now I have 1 mana floating here, I have 2 mana here, plus 2 mana here, that is 5 mana, correct? Oh, 3 mana. 4, 5. Yeah, let's do it like this. I will tap it and play a Timeless Lotus. I can tap this Timeless Lotus for 5 mana of all the colors, because I'm a king. I play not only no colors, but also all the colors. And then, because I am a good king, I shall pass the turn.
You were right. None of those were creatures. My noble hierarch doesn't look too strong anymore.
You can attack me for 0 anytime.
I will draw a card and see how we deal with this mess.
Good luck.
Don't panic. This is what they say. I will start with a black and cast a Thoughtseize. So now I look at your hand, I lose 2 life, and then I discard a card of my choice.
How dare you! Well, you will not like what you see.
They're all very good targets. I want to discard all of them. I will take the Karn.
Goodbye, my friend.
He's too strong.
You have been loyal.
And then I'll play an Underground Sea, which makes black and blue. And then for black and green, all of this mana nonsense is way too strong. I'm gonna play an Assassin's Trophy. Now, that destroys a permanent you control. I would like to destroy this Timeless Lotus, which makes 5 mana. I mean, those are not even real magic cards.
What did I ever do to you? But I do get a land, right?
You do get a land, but let me ask you, how many mythic basics do you have in your deck? It seems like somebody has good deck building.
The struggle of being a king.
Yeah. So let's just agree you put the Timeless Lotus into your graveyard.
I consider it shuffled.
Yes.
I cannot be bothered.
And then it's your turn.
All right, I shall untap. Not this one, sadly, but my land.
So now you pay for your actions.
I shall roll a dice, and on even, I take damage. 3, to be exact. I am a good king.
Must be nice.
But I still take the damage from my vault. And then I shall make me even richer. You said I don't have basics, but I still have lands. And as I didn't pay the life before, I shall pay it now. And play this Seagate untapped by paying 3 life. This is nothing for a king like me.
Yeah, life left and right.
And I shall tap
Who
for
cares
2,
about the future?
4, 5, and play the Forsaken Monument. Now all of my colorless sources tap for an additional colorless, and whenever I cast a colorless spell, I shall gain 2 life.
That would be a good card to resolve, right?
Oh, it would be. Oh, gosh darn it.
Now, Force of Will is an uncommon. I was not allowed to play Force of Will. But you know what's a rare? Force of Negation. If it's not your turn, conveniently it isn't. You may exile a blue card from your hand rather than pay the spell's mana cost. I will exile a Lavinia. She's blue. Doesn't matter. Counter target non-creature spell. Pew! If that spell is countered spell, exile it instead of putting it to the graveyard.
Why have you forsaken me?
It seems like plotting against the king is in fashion today.
Oh my lord, you will pay. Peasant. Rare peasant. All right, then I shall pass to you, my friend. Parenthesis.
I will draw. I will play a Polluted Delta, which is a land that looks for a land. I will get a Tundra, and then for 3 mana, I'll return Lurrus to my hand, my friend. Because humans need friends. I mean, they might be cat nightmares, but a friend is a friend.
You and your foul beasts.
I will tap it for green mana as well to cast a Deathrite Shaman. Now, Deathrite Shaman is the rarest of all rares, if you can imagine. It does so much. It's a 1 mana 1/2. For tapping, I can exile a land from a graveyard to add a mana to my mana pool. For black and tap, I can exile instant or sorcery from a graveyard to make each opponent lose 2 life. Or for a green and tap, I can exile a creature card from a graveyard to gain 2 life. It's basically a Swiss Army knife on a stick.
Preposterous.
Go!
Thank you very much.
Upkeep.
Upkeep. It's time to gamble. Even, I will lose 3 life to the mana crypt. Ah, this king lives. I still lose 1 life to my vault, though. Why do I have to pay taxes? I'm the king. I shall draw. All right, so I cannot play my Kozilek yet, but we have all seen the power of my hand, so I shall tap these 2 for 4 mana. And I swear, if you have another counter spell for free in hand, and I will play the One Ring. Power!
That's, yeah, the ultimate power.
I will turn invisible.
Invisible?
Well, it doesn't work then, I guess. So,
look, it's indestructible.
yeah, it's it is indestructible. And when it enters the battlefield, I gain protection from everything until my next turn. So try and touch me. At the beginning of my upkeep, I lose a life for each burden counter that is put on the One Ring, and I can tap it to put a burden counter on it and draw that many cards.
Strong card.
And I will do that immediately.
So now, against the counter?
Yes. Or do you want to do the honors? Do you want to be my burden? That's too much. And I will draw a land. How coy. I will play these gemstone caverns because 1 gem goes with another. Ah, my tooth. So I can tap this for a colorless mana. If there would be a counter on it, I could tap it for any color. But as this was not in my hand and we didn't have any pre-game action,
it's
just a colorless land. Ignore the rest. And then I shall say, your go.
I will draw. I know you know that I have a Lurrus.
I do.
I'm not gonna play it.
What?
So I can't attack you since you have protection from everything. And the last time I remember, everything includes my Noble Hierarch and Deathrite Shaman. So it's your turn.
So I will untap.
Now, many things happen.
This is the beginning of my upkeep, so I will take the damage now.
Okay, so you take 1 from your ring.
Then I will take 1 from the vault, and then I shall roll again. Just
rolling.
as always, keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is. Still not taking damage. And then I shall draw for my turn. I will play Caracas. I don't know why. That's just a song that's in my head when I play that card. I can just tap it for a white, or I can tap it to return a legendary creature to its owner's hand. I will tap the One Ring.
More burdens.
Add another counter to it and draw 2 cards.
Draw.
For a colorless mana, I will play another mana vault. Now I can take 2 damage each upkeep.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, I will be smart and just lean back and do nothing.
Nothing, he says.
Your go.
At the end of the turn, I will use my Deathrite Shaman to exile my Force of Nature to deal 2 damage to each opponent.
Oh, that's me.
Draw. I mean, a damage is a damage, so my Noble Hierarch will attack for 1 damage because it has Exalted. I will play a Tropical Island which makes it blue and green, and I'm still sitting back since now even Lurrus doesn't do anything. So it's your turn.
At the end of your turn, I shall return Kozilek, the Butcher of Truths, to my hand.
Yes.
And then I untap.
Yes. Upkeeps.
And at the beginning of my upkeep...
I have to say, your upkeep is my favorite step in Magic right now.
Why?
Just The accumulation of self-destruction.
At the beginning of my upkeep, before I take more damage, I will untap my mana vault. Then I will take 2 from my 1 ring, sadly.
Mana crypt.
Do you even want to look? Do I even want to look?
Damage. Oh, this is ridiculous.
This is how we do it.
That comes in the King's flat rate. Never take damage of mana crypt.
Never. And then I shall draw.
Never.
As we all like gambling so much, I will play another mana crypt. This might be my downfall, but who cares, right? We only live once.
In your upkeep, you take 8 damage.
Maybe. Maybe this will be the last you hear of me. But maybe it won't. First of all, I will play a land.
Yes.
Mount Doom. It taps for either a black or a red if I pay 1 life.
More pain.
More pain. I can tap it for a black, a red, and a colorless to deal 1 damage to each opponent, which is you. Or for a 7 mana, 5 black and a red. I can sacrifice it and a legendary artifact that I own and choose up to 2 creatures and then destroy the rest.
You can get rid of the ring.
I will pay 2,
Yes.
3,
No.
4,
Yes.
5, 6, 7,
Yes.
8, 9, 10.
Oh, yeah.
And I shall play Kozilek, the Butcher of Truth. When Kozilek, when I cast it, so before it even enters, I draw 4 cards.
Yeah, you do.
That is 4. Then it has Annihilator 4, and if it would be put into a graveyard, I just return it into my library by shuffling it. This might be the last thing I do, but we will see about that. First, I shall pass to you.
At the end of the turn, I will use my Deathrite Shaman and exile the Assassin's Trophy to deal 2 damage to each of my opponents.
I don't like the sound of that.
That's expensive. And you have a 12/12. I cannot even attack. Oh, it's your turn. Show me what you got.
First of all, I will untap everything I own,
Yes.
but my mana crypts. But as it is the beginning of my upkeep, I shall play 4 to untap 1 of them. And then I have to untap another 4 to untap the other one. Otherwise, this Deathrite Shaman will be my death. And then I will roll like a king.
Are you ready? You have to hit one of those.
I will never, ever. There you go.
Incredible. Okay. 1.
You're ready for the godly roll.
How many times do you...
It's the 5th time.
It has even numbers. Like, I don't know if you can see them, but they exist. You take 2 from the ring.
I take 2 from the ring.
Okay.
Now I shall draw, and I will attack you with the Butcher of Truth. This has Annihilator 4, so please sacrifice up to 4, not up to, exactly 4 permanents of your choice.
4 permanents, yes?
Yes.
I will use 4 mana of those and then sacrifice all of those to the Annihilator. So now they go to my graveyard. And then in my graveyard, I will use them to cast a Dig Through Time. Now, Dig Through Time costs 8, but I can reduce it to the number of cards I remove from my graveyard. So I remove 4 lands, and now I can look at the top 7 and take 2.
You seem to be richer than the king.
I will take those 2. I've still noticed there's a 12/12 attacking. I don't want to block, so I'll take 12.
I will burden myself one more time.
Why not? There's not much
Tap the
burden.
ring.
Okay, yes.
I need to find a way out of this. This is getting ridiculous.
I have my Deathrite Shaman and a land, and somehow I'm still very happy.
So I will play for free, because I'm a king, a Mox Opal. I can add 1 mana of any color to my mana pool, but only if I control 3 or more artifacts, which you can see
It's plenty.
I do. And then I shall pass the turn.
Okay, at the end of your turn, I will use the black mana and the Deathrite Shaman to remove 2 life from your life totals. Let's be honest, you're dead. Like,
Wait, I have to discard to hand size, because I'm rich. And I will discard Emrakul, the world anew. But what is this? Madness? Pay 6 colorless mana? I will do exactly that, because my deck has no bad cards. First of all, I can pay 6 colorless mana to cast it by discarding it, because that is madness. But then, when I cast the spell, I gain control of all creatures target player controls. As I don't want to get control of my own creatures, I will target you with that. Now, Emrakul herself has flying, protection from spells and permanents that were cast this turn. And when she leaves the battlefield, I sacrifice all creatures I control. But that will never happen. And of course, it's a 12/12.
so I can't deal you 2 damage.
Nope.
My turn?
It is indeed your
I will
turn.
untap all of my permanents.
Ooh, that's a lot of permanence. I like that.
Dang it. Okay, well, I have only one thing to do. I will cast Authorities. Can I remove at least something that saves you? Do you have anything relevant?
I'm hoping just on the Death Right Shaman and the Luck of the Irish.
Yes, okay. We'll take this. Doesn't matter.
All right, upkeep.
Oh god, so many things. Yes.
I untap everything that I'm allowed to untap. And the first thing that I'm going to do is to use this for a green mana. Oh yeah, thank you. Because I have to survive somehow. I will take 3 from this.
And the Mox Opal gives you green.
And the Mox Opal to exile a target creature from a graveyard and gain 2 life. I have no creatures in my graveyard. How
do
about
have
you?
a creature.
To exile with you,
Wait, no.
Noble Hierarch.
No, you do actually survive.
I might survive, yes. First of all, I will take 3 damage from the 1 ring.
Don't you want to draw 3 cards?
No. And then I'm going to 1
So the
dive.
abundance has a limit.
Now we will see if the Midas Touch will get me because what I have to do, absolutely, is to untap this. I also have to untap this. I cannot use the Mount Doom because it cost me 1 life. Now we will see if my kingly hubris comes to an end.
You haven't missed yet.
I can feel death shadows on my shoulders.
Oh!
Come on. Daddy needs a new pair of 1 life.
No!
Royal Assassins, not today. But this was only 1. As you can see, I have 2 crypts.
Yeesh. For the love of rare gods.
Come on. Come on. Luck of the Irish.
Yay!
No!
It only took like 9 rolls.
No!
Rares. Actually, nah. I'm gonna build a 10,000 euro deck with all the mythics I have now. Word!
These are yours now.
Yes.
These are yours now.
I only play mythics from now on.
But hey, just like a good steak, the rare one won.